All right, Chargers Nation, buckle up. Los Angeles is buzzing, and it's not just the California sun. We've got 4 bombshell stories that'll keep you glued to your screen, hyped up, and ready to flood the comments. Is our offense about to land a game changer? Can the defense step up to dominate? A young star's rising, and a big decision's shaking things up. You won't believe what's going down. So grab your spot, smash that like button, let's dive into the action, and tell me, what's got you most pumped for the Chargers' future? Chargers Nation's hearts are racing because the trade market's on fire. Whispers are swirling that Christian Kirk, former Cardinals wideout, might hit the trade block again. The Texans, who snagged him, just drafted Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel, 2 receivers, with sky-high potential, and now Kirk could be the odd man out. With Tank Dell sidelined by injury, Houston loaded up, but Kirk's spot isn't locked in. Guess who's watching? Yup, your Chargers. Los Angeles needs a dynamic playmaker bad. Mike Williams is here. Trey Harris was drafted, but Quentin Johnston's falling short. Fans are fed up, and they've got a point. Ladd McConkey shines on short routes, but we need someone to stretch the field. Kirk, despite a shoulder injury, could be the answer. He's no superstar, but he's shown WR1 flashes when healthy. If Harris isn't ready for the spotlight, Kirk could take the pressure off. Picture this, a trade for Kirk. It'd be huge. Justin Herbert needs reliable targets to push for the playoffs. Kirk's experience could open up space for McConkey and maybe even spark Johnston. But here's the catch. Injuries and trade costs. Worth the gamble? Fans on X are splitsome, call it a golden opportunity. Others want to bet on youth. What's your take? Strategically, GM Joe Hortiz is making bold moves. Jim Harbaugh's changing the culture. But the offense needs a boost to go elite. If Kirk lands, he could be the edge against tough defenses like Kansas City's. But hold up, the next story's gonna crank the excitement even higher for 2025. While the offense hunts for firepower, the defense is screaming for help. After cutting Joey Bosa, our pass rush has a gap that 4th-rounder Kyle Kennard might not fill yet. Khalil Mack's a beast, but with just 6 sacks in 2024, age might be creeping in. Enter a name that's got fans buzzing. Yanik Nagaku, former Pro Bowler and Raiders alum. Yup, he's a free agent, and the Chargers could snag him on a cheap 1-year deal. Ngakoue was a sack machine, hitting 9. 5 in 2022 with the Colts. He's dipped to 5 over the last 2 years, but at 30, he's still got gas in the tank. Fans on X are losing it. Him and Mac would terrorize QBs. Some aren't sold. Can he still deliver? Truth is, our edge needs depth. Kennard's got promise, but a vet like Ngakoue brings know-how and could mentor the rookie. Imagine the impact. Naku doesn't need to start, but rotating with Mac keeps our star fresh, ramping up pressure on enemy QBs. That's huge against pass-heavy teams like the Bengals or Ravens. A low-risk deal is the kind of move Harbaugh loves, smart but aggressive. If it flops, we move on. If it clicks, our defense becomes a nightmare. The question's hanging, will Hortiz pull the trigger? On X, fans are dreaming of Ngakoue sacking Mahomes, while others want Kennard to get the shot. The plan's clear, build a defense that scares people without breaking the bank. But while we're debating Ngakoue, a young stud's stealing the show on D, the Chargers' defense is loaded with stars, but one guy's shining where nobody expected. Dayan Henley, our 3rd-year linebacker, just got named the team's most underrated player by Pro Football Focus. Underrated, you say? In 2023, he played just 54 defensive snaps, but flashed sharp instincts. In 2024, he went off with a 71. 3 coverage grade, 11th best among NFL linebackers. That's big time. Fans on X are hyped. Henley's the future of this D. Some are skeptical. Can he handle a full-time role? Henley's story is straight up inspiring. He switched from offense to defense in college and still plays at an elite level. Vet Denzel Perryman can't stop raving. Watching him grow since OTAs is like being a proud big brother. That's major locker room respect. His coverage skills are gold in today's NFL, where tight ends and backs torch you through the air. With Harbaugh's physical identity, Henley fits like a glove. He's letting Mac and Derwin James go all out while he locks down the middle. If he keeps this up, 2025 could be his breakout year. But here's the drama. Will Henley become the defensive cornerstone we need, or just a flash in the pan? On X, some fans want him starting now. Others need more proof. This shows the Chargers are nailing player development. Henley's part of a young core with Herbert, Joe Alt, and McConkey. If he takes off, our defense gets a versatile weapon against offenses like Kansas City's are Kansas City's. But brace yourself, because there's a move on offense that's got everyone on edge. While the defense finds new heroes, the offense is in a high-stakes drama. GM Joe Ortiz dropped a bombshell on the Chargers Weekly podcast about Zion Johnson, our 2022 first-round guard. The team declined his fifth-year option worth $17. $56 million. But hold on, it's not over. Ortiz said, Zion's a guy we love and want to keep long-term. Fans on X are torn, why pass on him? And Ortiz knows what he's doing. It's all about the business side of football. The fifth-year option doesn't split up offensive line positions, and paying that much for a guard who hasn't broken out is risky. Johnson hasn't lived up to his draft hype, but Ortiz revealed he can play center. That's a game changer. He and Bradley Bozeman are swapping between left guard and center in practice, showing Harbaugh wants a flexible line. On X, some fans see Johnson owning the center spot, while others worry he's gone in 2026. The stakes are huge. If Johnson balls out in 2025, we could re-sign him for less than the option. If he flops, Bozeman or Andre James could take over, and our line, already under fire, gets shaky. Protecting Herbert is everything, and a weak line against defenses like Pittsburgh spells trouble. Johnson's got all the pressure in his contract year. The big question, will he silence the haters or bust? Ortiz's plan is to spark competition to get the best out of everyone. But while we're wrapping our heads around this, today's other stories prove the Chargers are gearing up to fight in 2025. What a day, Chargers Nation. Christian Kirk could be the spark our offense needs, while Yanik Nagaku might bring the heat on defense. Diane Henley's ready to be the breakout nobody saw coming, and Zion Johnson's fighting to prove his worth. Every story screams that Ortiz and Harbaugh are building a young, hungry team to chase the playoffs. 2025's full of promise, but the risks are real. Which of these stories has you most fired up? Drop it in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's show the NFL that Los Angeles is our house.